Hello, everyone, and welcome again to week three. This video intends to cover the milestone for week three. But just before I proceed, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel so far. I mean, it's been about 3 weeks now, and we are eating almost 200 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed yet, you should consider subscribing. I also want to say a very big thank you to everyone who sent in comments to encourage um, me, who said thank you to every of the videos that I've posted so far. Thank you so much for those encouraging words. I've had people say, "Oh, it was a lifesaver," and everyone kept pushing and encouraging me to keep making this video. So thank you, everyone. I don't take it for granted. Keep pushing the like buttons for all of these videos. And if you've not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. We have about 3 more weeks to go. Good news. Well, I know that ALX has extended the deadline for milestone one and milestone two up until 14 days or thereabout, about 14 or 13 days from now, from the time of the upload of this video. So you have, ample time to, you know, get the work done. Remember, all right, the theme for us, the mantra for us is, we do hard things. And this week has not been short of that in any way, shape, or form. I want to also apologize, lastly, to everyone who's waited for this video so far. And I know it's coming late, but I trust and I hope that it should help you in the little time that we have left to sort of consolidate what you've done so far, or quickly put together something if you've not started at all. Thank you again, and let's get into the milestone for week three. So the first thing I want to do is to add to my intranet. Usually, I would have covered how to get into the intranet and all of that, but you can watch the previous videos to do that. So all I've done now is just to use the first link that pops up. So I'll just adjust this accordion to week three. And then week one and week two covers how to get here. I must say at this point that week three was quite challenging, right? And for me, because I also work, this week that's just ending was quite jam packed for me. I had a lot of events, a lot of things to catch up on, and I'm thankful that week three came in handy because I don't think it. I think it was nice. Coincidentally, week three was the week that also talked about planning and all of that. So it was helpful for me. It was beneficial for me for my personal life, which is one of the goals of ALX. But enough of that. Let's just get straight into the milestone for week three. So I'll click on week three. I think I should point out that there was a message that sort of gave us like an heads up on, I think it was a technical, maybe an update to the intranet to Savannah. And they just reassured us that if you're having issues with Savannah, don't worry, it will be rectified. It was an email that was sent to you. You may want to check your email just to be sure that you receive that email. Should, in case you're having issues submitting, or having issues accessing something on the Savannah, but they did promise that everything will be rectified and sorted. So let's head over to let's start from the milestone three, readiness. So this just it's just sort of, it's like a preamble. Are you ready for milestone three? These are the things that your milestone will contain. Your updated AI toolkit. This shouldn't be new at this point. The AI toolkit, we've been using that from week one, right? And then there's a complete project plan or work plan that we need to add to our worksheets, our milestone worksheet. Complete research worksheet, we also need to add that into our milestone three worksheet. Data cleaning, email to colleagues, and then finally reflection on the use of AI. I'll just click to go to the next page, and that's loading. You would please forgive me. I'm connected to fiber, but this is quite strange that it's acting up this way. It doesn't usually do that. Um, just pardon me. That's the Nigerian factor. Okay, 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 okay. Still waiting, still waiting, still waiting. And yes, so it's back up now. Okay, so this sort of gives us like a recap of the simulation we've been running through, and then it's asking us to get the week 3 worksheet. Of course, if I hadn't done this before, I'll go ahead and click on Milestone week 3 worksheets and then make a copy. But because I have done this, I'm just going to head into my drive and head into the folder created just for ALX ACE program. I'm going to head into that folder. And in the previous week, I explained some of the things I did to this folder just to tidy things up. And little wonder, thankfully, I did that because amongst the modules for week 3, there was a part that they had to give us like an heads up, like a reminder to tidy things up, right? Everything, just keep putting it in that folder. I don't know, but it's safe to say that we may have to submit the entire folder for maybe the final week. I just don't know, but it's just good to keep things nice and safe and neat, of course. So I'll go into week 3. And remember, from the previous week, I had mentioned that this is a shortcut, right? I don't have another document. I didn't make for week 1, week 2, and week 3. I didn't make a copy of this document 3 times, right? It's just the same copy I had made from week 1. All I just had to do is to have a shortcut, right? So it's always referring to that document, always referring to that document. And that's pretty much the only document amongst that of week 3, amongst everything we are required to submit for week 3, that comes from the previous weeks. Allow me quickly show you that quick contrast for those that did not watch week 2. So you see this came from week 1. There are others. This also comes from week 1, and then the personal statement came from week 1. We didn't finish that personal statement, so we finish it in week 2, and that's why I have that shortcut also in week 2. But all of these documents are just for week 3. So I'm not going to make a copy because I already have that sheet here. So I'll go to my Google Drive, and my Milestone sheet is here, so I'll just open it. You can watch the previous videos if you're trying to find out how to make a copy, how to move it to the folder, and all of, I talked about that in the earlier minutes of the previous video. Okay, now another thing that's always good to have handy, right, side by side, you must have, you should know by now that I like to do it that way, is the rubric, right? The rubric, have that side by side, because it will interest you to know that amongst all of these wonderful modules, right, and all of the activities and some of the things that we would do, that we did alongside in all of these modules, it's not everything that you will be graded against, right? Your test may cover some of them. That's why it's good to go through all of the information, right? But your milestone may not, right, touch on all of this, and that's why you have that rubric is very handy, because the rubric tells you exactly what your peer would be grading. So it's good to have that side by side. So I'm not going to make a copy again because, yeah, you guessed right, I have that copy already. I've made a copy and I've moved it into my folder. Now, in case you are wondering why mine doesn't carry copy of the ACE Milestone 3, that's because I renamed it and I removed that copy. Usually when you click on make a copy, it will start the name of the document with copy off. So I just don't think it looks nice, so I normally take it out. So what I mean by that is, instead of ALX ACE Milestone 3 rubric, what you have is copy of ALX ACE Milestone 3 rubric. So I just Once it's done loading, I just click on the name and then move my cursor and take out that copy. All right. So this is what I was referring to. So you see that the person who's going to grade your work, your peer is going to check out, is the name of your worksheet, is it named properly? Right. So when you do make a copy of this worksheet, this is the name that it will carry, milestone 3 worksheet. But that's not the name you should submit it with. If you submit it with that name, your peer is going to give you a 0 here, right? At least a peer that's looking at the grading um, rubric, right? So you should follow this name structure. So the best thing to do is to just copy this up onto the YYY, the year. You don't need to copy .pdf, because when you export your worksheet, your final work, it will export as a .pdf. So you don't need to add that, except you want to have .pdf, which falls short of, you didn't name it correctly, right? So just copy from the Y part and paste it there, and then all you then have to do is to then change the date, month and year, just like you can see here, right? Again, it was a long week for me. You notice that I just submitted all of this, even though I'd done part of it I think as at Friday, but I didn't complete it until just some hours ago. So please forgive me again for this late entry for the video. All right, so you should be used to this if you've watched week 1 and week 2. And this is the AI toolkit. So for the AI toolkit, just open the AI toolkit and paste the link. The AI toolkit is still on anyone with the link, so I don't need to do much. I'll just click on share, and then the same drill. I'll just click on share, copy the link, and then paste it inside of my um the box that's designated for it. So I would normally tell guys that I like to leave mine as this double thing, because I don't know what PDF app my peer would be using. So I don't want to bank on some old PDF apps that may not be able to recognize that this is a link or this is a button that's clickable. I mean, if you are using Adobe, maybe the latest version, or maybe if you're using Adobe generally, you should recognize this. But if you're not using any of that, I don't know. So I like to leave this here, and I also like to leave the raw link here, right? Just to be safe. So all I just need to do to paste is just Control V or Command V. Oops, sorry. Um, uh, Pardon me, I did not click on. So Command V or Control V, and then for the first one I just do enter, nothing more. It becomes a link, and then I do Control V again, and then this time around I click on tab. And then that's how I achieve that, right? Nothing too complex. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for this first part, right? So if you do that first part, you already have your marks up until this point. So that's 4 marks already. I call them 4. It's not really 4, right? They are in percentages between 0.1 and 1, right? Okay, so the next one, this is really where things begin to get demanding, right? So the first thing I want to do is to open this document, right? Let's open this project plan document. So I'm going to click on it, and it's opening right there. And then your project plan comes from this particular module, right? There's an activity here. If you read all of this, it sort of walks you through how to fill that project plan. Talks about project plan, your smart goals and objectives and all of that. So I'm just gonna say show quiz. It's not really a quiz, it was just the instruction on how to go about it, right? But it is safer for you to make that copy from your milestone worksheet. I noticed that amongst the ones in the module, right, I don't know if it's this one, but I downloaded sort of like 2 versions of this. One of the versions did not have the Chat GPT project board. You only had the project plan. I think it was like a sample. But it didn't have this Chat GPT project board. So if you're going to make a copy of this project plan, please make sure you're making a copy from the worksheet. right? Just like I've done. And then of course I'm going to delete this because already have it. So remember to move and put in your drive, in the right folder in your drive, and then remember to change this to share with anyone um, with the link, right? So I'm just going to close this and open my project plan, right, that I have in my drive. So these are the two variations that I found. That this doesn't have the Chat GPT board, but this other one that I just opened now, has it in. But I thought that was weird because I had to struggle a bit to find, because the question kept saying Chat GPT board, and I was wondering what's going on because I didn't find any. So I thought I was going to make mine from the scratch. All right, so and in here, so this is my goal. My goal is to complete all of the tasks and modules for the ALX ACE program within the next 3 months with a grade above 95%. And these are some of the tasks that I thought I would carry out to achieve or to reach that goal. They are specific, they are smart in short, and these are sort of like the deliverables for each of those goals that I have. And these are the people responsible: owner, sorry, my wife sort of has to keep me on track on some of these things, and of course the deadline. Right, I did find that particularly for the peer that I reviewed, after slotting in all of these numbers, right, all of these dates, um for some reason this color coding did not pop up, and I left that review for them. So it is possible that while trying to make adjustments to this, they tweaked a lot of things, and then the conditions here did not recognize what they typed in. So for me, I found that the easiest way to adjust this for is just to sort of not to delete everything exactly, just make the tweaks to the date. I can, for example, change this to 14th of March, and then just make that adjustment. You may find February there. So February is capital letter FEB, March is capital letter MAR, right? April is APR, right? And those months have those, short codes, right? So, but if you do that, you should find that there shouldn't be any issues for this picking your the color code. Not that it's required for the grading, because you will come if you come back to your rubric now, it doesn't say, there's no point there. So this first, did you include the link to your worksheet? Is it viewable? And then it begins to find out in your project tab, did you add a task to row 7, action item to row 8, row 9, right? So you're not going to be graded for that, but just to keep your work nice and neat and understand what exactly all of this is about, um you may want to look into that if you have that time. So they want to know if you added things to all of these rows: row 7, row 8, row 9, and row 10. Row 8 actually stops at row 9, um according to the worksheet. So your peer is going to find checkout for all of this, um up onto row 9, right? That's for the first sheet within this project workbook. That's for this sheet, right? There's another sheet we'll get into, but don't forget, click on share, copy the link, make sure that it's on anyone who can view, and then paste it in the box provided, right? Your work plan box. And then next we need to go to the other sheet, and in this other sheet we the same thing sort of applies, right? Did you add some item, tax action item on row 5, row 6, row 7, right? So if I come back to my plan there, done, and I come back to this other sheet, forgive my dogs, I guess someone is just outside there, right? So did you add you know items in all of this, and are they completely filled? Now bear in mind that this can be personal. This doesn't really have to be for you. It makes sense if you make it for you, because you should practice, right? It's a skill that's valuable, but you can just make things up, right? There's no cast in stone rule that you have to be, on point, right? And this for this I had to make it based on the simulation at that we are running in this the VAC AI simulation, right? So this is, based on that. And how do I know it's based on that? So if you come down to doing things with AI, so I just want to be sure. Okay. So doing things with AI under this activity, try out ChatGPT tax. Yes, I believe. Yeah, project work plan. Yes. So using ChatGPT for time tax management. So all of this, so this particular part is the part that talks about what you're expected to do in that second, tab. Then that's, worksheet, developing the chat gpt prompt, right? Based on your reflection, create a detailed prompt for chat gpt. The prompt should request a project board structure that aligns with week 3 simulation needs, right? Week 3 simulation needs. So you are not allowed, forgive me, for this one you are not allowed to, make things up, right? This is supposed to be based on week 3, and you can see how I've gone about mine, right? And the same thing applies to the date if you want this nice color codings. And that pretty much is all you have to do. Then the next thing is the research worksheet. Obi, what's the issue? I think that's all. Please help me check that one. Okay, so forgive me. For the research worksheet, again, how do I get this document? I'll just make a copy from my milestone worksheet here. I'm just going to bring this down so that it's not bumping against the border of that box. And I'm going to click on this and then click on the link, and then it opens my a copy. And then I'm not going to make a copy because I already have that copy and I've moved it into my folder, and this is mine here. This was another part in the entire process that was quite daunting to overcome, but I thank God that I was able to overcome them. Right. I just wish that my peer, whoever reviewed my work, gave me at the end. There's always a column where you can write comment, give me a feedback, maybe based on their own understanding on, how all of this looks. Am I correct? Am I not correct? Because sometimes it's quite difficult to know whether you're on the right track um or not. So for this, you are required to first start with the part A, right? First start with the part A. There are three kinds of question, um, research question styles, right? The casual, descriptive question, comparative questions. We are giving examples here, and you can just, formulate questions around that if you have enough time to think through it. Um, and for this also, for this other part, this are based on, so there is the part so sorry, this is under research, so we are no longer under using doing things with AI, so we're under questions, effective questioning. And then this activity explains how to walk around that, how to sort out that worksheet. So it explains everything you need to do. So it talks about the how to, create effective questions around this, right? So you can read through, right? You can read through. So it says, after completing this activity, reflect on how, no, that's not the part I was. So it gives us examples. Yes, this is, it gives us examples on how to go about all of those. So feel free to read through. There's still enough time for you to, craft all of this. And for this part B, right? For this part B, um you should also aim to do the same thing, right? Methodologies and best practices, planning your research. So activity, and this gives some more explanation on there are three parts to this research worksheet. So there is the part A, there is the part B, and then there is the part C, right? Where you are supposed to write a project, a research report, right? Research summary for chats from ChatGPT, which includes important insight based on the research questions, right? It may be a bit daunting, but ChatGPT is what you're supposed to use for this, like based on your research questions and all of the insight you have so far, right? If you tackle ChatGPT to provide a research summary for you, a report for you, it will go ahead and do that for you, right? Remember that it's also supposed to be for week 1, right? It's supposed to be now. This is a pro tip. I found that the new updates to ChatGPT has sort of can remember your previous conversation, and even extends to even remembering conversation across across the different topics that you've you know engaged ChatGPT on. What do I mean by that? You know that each time you open ChatGPT, if you start a new conversation, on the right hand pane there, it sort of opens a new topic, right? If you've used ChatGPT for a while, you should have several topics on that right hand pane. So it sort of remembers. So maybe today you're asking it about school related information, and then tomorrow you want to quickly ask, oh, how do I write this Python code? That will be another topic, right? So now ChatGPT can remember what you were talking about across topics. So it would be nice for me. What I did is I created a topic, and you can rename those topics. So I created a topic dedicated just to ALX ACE program, right? That's where I interact any kind of task we are given that has to do with ChatGPT. In fact, things that don't even have to do with ChatGPT, things I need clarification on. Oh, explain this topic, explain this concept, explain these things, this thing to a 5 year old. How do I go about this? Everything is on that, just that topic, right? Maybe I should show you um what I mean. And so that way it's easy for ChatGPT. So ChatGPT remembers my research question. I even asked, I needed his help sometime for the research question. This is what I mean. If I start a new conversation now, I'm just going to type in a bunch of gibberish. It's going to tell me it doesn't understand. Yes. So you see that it has created that topic already, and I can rename this, right? So in this conversation, or in this topic, I can have every conversation that I need for ChatGPT. So I have labeled to some extent some of my topics. So I have, this is for um, general things that I need. This for comments. So I do a lot of things on ChatGPT. Some of them I have labeled, some of them I have not. So that's a pro tip that may prove to be helpful. I'm just going to take this out because I don't need this. So ChatGPT can remember every conversation across all of this. Well, as of the time of the update, I don't know if they backdated it to the conversations I've had before. But everyone using ChatGPT now can do that, and you will find that ChatGPT should be able to help you generate um, all of this, right? All of this. Um, so that's sort of, I'm coming back to the milestone rubrics. That sort of covers part A, part B, and part C, right? Part A, part B, and part C. Part C is the summary, that right, the research report, right? Part B and all of these are those columns that I had mentioned, right? So, and if you have items in all of those things, your peer should give you the appropriate marks. Now, data cleaning. Um, of course, please don't forget to add a link, right? Don't forget to share, copy the link, and then paste it inside of your milestone, right? Just like I've done here, right? Don't forget to do that, and make sure it is visible to everyone with a link. All right, so for data cleaning, I'm going to make a copy again. I have that copy, so I'll just pull it out from my My goodness, right? It will amaze you to know that I made a copy, but I don't think I moved it because I don't see it anywhere here. So I did not move it. Okay, that's perhaps the weirdest thing that has happened so far. So this is it, right? That's the weirdest thing that's happened so far. Thank God I had to make this, right? Well, it's not detrimental, right? I did copy the link, I pasted the link, and of course, anyone with the link would still be able to view my work, right? However, just for my own good, I did not move it to the right folder, right? I didn't move it to the right folder. So I'm going to organize. I'm going to click on move, and it should be in under week 3. All right. So this week 3 you see is inside this folder. This is just like a quick what's the name? So maybe I should just go over it one after the other. Sorry, I'm not moving here. I'm moving into week 3 inside of this. So I'll just click on move. Right, and thank God I came back to this. So let's go. So any folder you make, and that any document you make with your Google account that's not inside the folder, it normally goes into home. They are just scattered um all around. So this is the data cleaning document. Right, this was a bit easy for me because I have sort of like a little bit of experience with Excel. I've created a few Excel applications and all, so it was quite easy for me to quickly get all of this done. So you can look through the formulas that I have here, and it should give you a guide on how to go about this. If this um and maybe this should be a disclaimer, even though I'm pretty sure that all of these answers are correct. I have to leave a disclaimer here because I did not. So you see these modules on cleaning and wrangling, 1 and 2. I didn't go through them because the moment I went through and I saw it was Excel, I just kept clicking on mark as done, mark as done, mark as done. um I didn't go through the content, maybe because I was a bit confident in the Excel was the name. So please, um right, this is a disclaimer. If you want to go through this and sort it out, please, by all means, you should read through. And it may, right, because there are more than one way sometimes to get a particular thing done, right? I just went straight for a formula that I was quite convenient with, and that gave me um the right answers, right? So if you go through those module and they had another approach to it, that's fine. But for the purpose of this, right, the formulas that I have here are very much okay, right? It gets us the information that we need. Okay, so of course, don't forget again, share anyone with the link, and then copy that link and paste it inside of your Milestone worksheet, right? And then lastly, second to the last, is the email to colleagues, right? This video has been a bit lengthy, forgive me, but we are almost at the end. Right now, email to colleagues, you're gonna have to make a copy of that worksheet, and my email to colleagues should be where is it now? Oh, pardon me, they was there an external sheet for this? I'm lost for a second there. um okay, yes, there were no external worksheet for this. So that email, right, you're going to write 2 emails, right? You're going to have to draft one manually, right? And you're going to manually, of course, not if you want, if it feels better to write it on a piece of paper first, then type. But for the purpose of ALX, typing it in here is what we mean, right? All by yourself, right? And this link that I opened, gives you a prompt on how to go, what should be contained. So it says when you're writing the email manually, include a subject line, right? And it's telling you what to do. Craft a concise and that indicates the content. At the beginning, the purpose, project board. Include a summary or link to the project board you created at the start week of this week. That project board is this work plan. So just copy that link and then add it in the manual email you would be writing. Add it in the manual email you'll be writing, right? Add it in the manual email you'll be writing. Which for me, now that I look through, I actually forgot to add that into the manual email that I'll be writing. So I'll just include that now. I'll just include that now. You notice that I added it for for the one created with chat gpt, and because this is not too heavy, I'll just um, maybe copy everything all the way to here, right? And I'll just add this in. um, so Control V. I'm just gonna take this out. um, I have created a project board to track our progress and key tasks. Okay, so when you're done writing that email manually, right, you should also have to measure how long it took you. So just because of the extra work I've done now, maybe I'll just add 11 minutes, right? Please don't forget to add that because it's part of what will be looked at for your rubric, right? So we're done with data cleaning and all of that. We are in emails, right? So it says, did you include a link to the did you include a manual email? um did Lena included time it took? Did you include the time, right? So that time you have to please time yourself, figure out how long it took you to come up with that. Then email to the colleagues, your colleague written with chat gpt. And for me, that was pretty straightforward because all I just had to do, one of the queries I used for chat gpt was, I just copied this entire thing, right? I asked you to write an email to follow this particular structure, right? And because it remembers previous conversation, it was easy for it to pick out my three research questions and all of that. And then voila, it popped that out in like few seconds, right? And that's the email that you now see here. So this is the chat gpt one. So can I push this down so that it's a bit neat, right? And so this is the one created with ChatGPT. You can see the difference is very clear. And then lastly, take a moment to reflect on everything you've learned and how AI might shape your future. Then create a short paragraph based on your reflection. Your paragraph should answer the questions in the box. All right. And then I've answered all of this question um, for myself. Right. Please feel free to also reflect, should in case your reflection differs from mine. And that's pretty much 95%. All that's left to do is to click on file and then click on download and then click on download PDF document, right? So PDF document. Once you're done downloading the PDF document, um, the parts that talks about the professional writing and all of that, you can find that here. Um, you can read through that particular content also. So all that's left to do now is to actually upload the document, right? Document that you downloaded. So you just scroll down, and then click on choose a file, choose the document you just downloaded. It should then pop up here, and then you click on submit. When you're done clicking on submit, click on done, and then ready for peer review. I'm not ready for a new peer review because a peer has reviewed mine already. So I scored, it was 100, but I would appreciate that people give. I normally leave a feedback on, but I don't know why everyone doesn't seem to do that, but it's fine, right? The moment you are done submitting yours, please don't forget another pair would be assigned to you. So if you come to this Q&A reviews, you'll find a peer that was assigned to you, right? I was assigned one. When I was done reviewing the peer and I clicked on submit, I got an information saying this peer is no longer assigned to you. So I guess maybe it was assigned to more than one person and then someone finished before I did. But I was given another one almost immediately, or except it was a glitch in the system. And voila, and that should be all. Don't forget to also fill your captain's log, as it should be due already. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate. Please leave me comments if you're finding anything, if you're struggling with anything, any information you find difficult to go through some things. Um, let me know, and I'm always in the comment section of these videos to respond as soon as possible. Thank you, and happy ALXing. Right, remember the mantra: do hard things. It's not easy, it's difficult. Trust me, it was difficult for me also, but I just made up my mind to go through it all.